How's it going? Man, you look good today. Nice. I like what you did with your hair. Episode number it's French for one. Is the loneliest number you'll ever know. And actually, it's the first episode of many. You're gonna have a lot of these episodes, but they're gonna be quite the same but different. So you're probably asking yourself, why does he have that gigantic scab on his nose? And does he do math? Hey, remember drawing? Remember when people drew on paper and stuff? So we're gonna do some of that. I think it's kind of fun. It's like you create it out of your head. It's really awesome. They're gonna have me drawing, me painting, you guys watching, and you repeating what I do, but in your own way. So I was flipping through Instagram the other day, and I came across some pretty scandalous photos of some ladies. And my girlfriend happened to look over and see me looking. What the hell are you looking at? Looking at some tattoos. She turned green, and she grew horns. She turned into a hannya. Hannya, so hannya, have you ever wondered how to draw a hannya mask? Have you ever wondered the story? Have you ever wondered what is that ugly ass Shrek looking thing? Well, it comes from the No Theater in Japan, and instead of acting out line for line the plays, they used the masks to convey emotions. They're really cool over there. I kind of wish that I was Japanese a lot of the time, and I wish I could yield a katana. I remember the first time I watched Karate Kid, I thought that I was Daniel's son because my name was Dustin, and that's kind of close, and there's a D at the beginning. I just wanted to be him. I thought I was him. I thought the story was about me, but I'm not from New Jersey. I'm from Canada, and I'm not. My name's Dustin, not Danny. I don't do meth, and I never have. You know, I don't have to be joking around. I don't have to move around. I can be serious, but I've just thought that it's also fun to not be serious. And the world's a very serious place right now, and I just think that sucks. I hope you guys enjoy these videos. Please follow me on Instagram, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm Dustin, and welcome to Illustrative Tattoo Design. So come on, let's go check it out. All right, let's get right into it. Before we get into the anatomy, I would just like to say every artist should practice anatomy. There's so many books on it, and YouTube is a really great resource. If you haven't already checked out Proco, you should. Kim Jung-ji and Karl Kopinski are awesome to watch. And there's like 30,000 other awesome artists you can find on one of the platforms to honestly learn the fundamentals. First thing I start out with is a circle, and I kind of just follow one simple rule, and that is the eyes are halfway to the jaw. So once you place the eyes, you'll have a better idea of where everything else goes. The mouth is probably my favorite part. I love being really loose with the teeth and flexing out the jaw. If you prefer a more traditional look, stick with something more simplistic. Sometimes you will see hannyas with black teeth, and that was actually done on purpose. It was usually done during puberty to protect teeth into old age, and was actually a sign of beauty. So much of the story is told in the eyebrows. At the right angle, she can look quite sad, and at a different angle, she's ready to go Lorena Bobbitt on your buddy's dad. I started this using a non-photo blue mechanical pencil and then graduated to a regular HB pencil. I lined it using 2 micron pens, a .005 and an 8, and I painted it with FW liquid acrylics. At the end, I bowled out the outer lines nice and fat and finished with some white highlights. Don't be afraid to mix mediums either. Remember the first person that you fell in love with? Remember when you were 10 and you brought her a flower to school, but she didn't want it because she was 10 and she's obviously not into dudes with jack pecs and perfect calves yet? And you were so insecure and embarrassed, you just ate it in front of everybody because you just got your first pube and your mom caught you masturbating for the first time earlier that day? Well, yeah, it's kind of like that. And that's the feeling you really want to portray. Use reference. Google has a lot of pictures of hannyas, but it's really important to just use them as a guide. Tracing the photos off the internet only really hurts you in the long run. And I feel like tracing is all good if you're starting out, but after a few goes, it might save some time, but you're only holding yourself back from your true individual style. And that style is only created through practice. You've got to find the right angle. You know, if you feel you are confident in drawing the mask in a few different directions, find one that fits the placement perfectly. You got to utilize the space well, and flowing with the body part is key. So tattoos should be faced into the center of the body for some proper placement. So that's always something to consider. Since the no theater is gesture based, the masks must be expressive. Adding extra crinkles and squint lines can help with cover-up tattoos and that added aggression you may be looking for. Elements add drama to your story. Akira Kurosawa is a super sick Japanese director that directed some great films like Seven Samurai and Yojimbo. He used backgrounds to add dramatic influence and really send the message home. So throwing in some wind and water can add some energy, and if you want some cherry blossoms to symbolize death, that's cool too. After I've transferred my sketch from transfer paper to a basic hot press watercolor paper, I line the design with micron pens and then tape it off using painter's tape to prepare it for painting the background. I use a decent amount of water and try to keep things as blendy and as loose as I can, allowing it to dry when I need to, and then adding more layers as I go darker and darker. Since the masks were to be worn for long periods of time, they were mostly carved out of cypress. They used natural pigments and lacquers to preserve the masks, and some are pretty rare. I've read that the most ancient one is in the oldest No school, the Kamparu, and they claim it was carved sometime between 574 and 622 BC. I guess traditionally the horns are a sign of jealousy, and when a lady gets married in Japan, she wears a bridal headdress called a tsunokokashi. That is actually meant to hide her horns. Talk about a horny bride. Buzzing. One of the most popular stories of the hannya is about a samurai named Watanabe, who hears about a hannya demon tormenting anyone who tries to go through Rashomon Gate in Kyoto. So off he goes to take the beast out and sets up camp. He's chilling by the fire, and out of the fog comes this mega hottie Japanese vixen under this super dope umbrella with this really sick cherry blossom bonsai tree on it, and that look in her eye like she just finished smoking a couple grams of Giggle Bush, and you look like a fresh box of Ferrero Rocher. Since Watanabe is bound by the samurai code and is a super solid bro / gentleman, he offers his services to escort the young lady to town. Being the badass Japanese gladiator he was, with a high protein, high fat, low carb diet and guzzling well over 8 liters of water per day, he decides to stop at the outhouse to drain his formidable Japanese water dragon. Unbeknownst to him, she had turned into a raging hormone monster and was planning on eating his sexy ass under the sakura tree. She touched his shoulder, and with lightning fast reflexes, he drew his sword, lopping off her hand before she could slink defeated into the shadows. Watanabe picked up the hand and brought it home to his pimped out dojo samurai training facility. Time passed and the hannya was long forgotten, until one day she came back dressed as Watanabe's delusional aunt Saiko-san, and since she had heard great stories of his trophy, she wanted to check out the demon digis in person. Once he opened the box to show her, she grabbed the hand and split faster than I killed my Tamagotchi on a bullet train. After I've laid down my first layer of black and light gray, and it's dry, I move on to my midtones. Using a decent amount of water but not too much, I start where the most shadow would be and pull the pigment with the brush in as smoothly as possible, blending evenly where I intend to paint. Don't forget to dab excess water on a piece of paper towel if you have to. I also use a second small piece of watercolor paper to test any blends I'm about to try before I do it permanently on the painting. Now, all my work is primarily done on my iPad using Procreate. It's great for doing thumbnail sketches and color studies. I used to waste a lot of paper, so I'm much more environmentally friendly with this piece of technology, but nothing will ever compare to the nice feeling of pencil and paper. I like to switch it up. I like to go back and forth between my mediums and play around with everything that I can. I mean, I think that it's important to try and do everything that makes a tattooer good, you know, like nothing, sculpture even, like anything that's going to help you understand what you're drawing on a different level. It's just good to use your hands to just create constantly. And, you know, we were given thumbs, so let's use them. Everyone is different, and that's what makes art so awesome. So I encourage you to explore your own style. And style comes from practice and understanding what it is that you're drawing. Masks traditionally come in 3 different color types. If a mask is mostly white, it is relatively close to being human, although more likely to complain about her pumpkin spice latte being too hot. A red mask is lower class, and if it's dark red, she went full send to the dark side, that is. The word hannya means wisdom. It is a symbol of good luck and will ward off evil. So now for your homework. This is the part of the lesson where you guys do your own version of my drawing. I want to see what you can come up with based on my lesson here today. You can do something similar to mine or something completely different. It's up to you. I'm giving you complete artistic freedom. If you're having trouble with your drawing, maybe do a few thumbnails first and find the right look before you commit to a design, and then later hate what you come up with. And don't be discouraged if you don't like it. Practice makes perfect, and if you have a good idea and you work hard at it, you'll eventually come up with something you're happy with. You can use any medium you want, but the most important thing is I want to see you guys having a friggin' blast. So get amongst it. It's supposed to be fun, so stay loose and friggin' give her. I'd like to thank you all for watching my video. If you dug this tutorial and have something you'd like me to do in an episode, feel free to comment below. Send photos of your hannyas that you've done, like and subscribe, and keep on rocking in the free world, you guys. Have a good one. Peace.